Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to 1000 Lies. Just a little warning before we get started. My dog is in my room. Normally when I record, she's gone outside of my room and I always have my door shut. I mean, my door is shut, but like she's sort of asleep right now, so if she just starts barking, I'm gonna have to get up and let her out of my room. So just prepare yourselves for that. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get back to the thing that we're doing. I watched the other side's entrance and sigh, still searching for the best words with the naivete of someone who thinks there's a correct answer. Standing next to me is Claire. After what happened in the music room, she left without a sound, forgetting what hadn't transpired in only a second, without even allowing me to give my opinion on it. It was too late, she told me, then talked about going back to school and some other stuff. She invited me to go back with her, and although it took me a second, I said yes. However, despite her laughing innocently about it, it's obvious that she's unhappy with my answer. I have to say something before we part ways. It feels unnecessary, but she interrupts me as soon as I try to open my mouth and speak.
Thank you for accompanying me, Sheer.
I inhale deeply through my nose and give up. Don't say goodbye so soon. I'll go inside too.
What? Why? What are you going to do? Fuck.
I need to get her voice back. Oh no. My dog hears me moving around in my chair and she's just like, oh, she's going to play with me now. No. Give me a minute. Sorry, my nose is stuffed up right now.
What do I? What are you going to do? Fuck. What are you gonna do? Going to do?
It's a school. What in the world can I do? Homework? No, I just want to use the washroom. I'm already late for my next class anyway, so I'm gonna take it easy in the meantime.
You know the way, right? Good luck, then. I gotta go since I'm in a hurry. See you, Sheer.
I'm using the washroom. No luck needed. I can't finish my sentence before she's gone. She didn't even let me say goodbye to her. As I finish my duties, I hear the bell start to ring, so I decide to wait here for a little while until all the students are done rushing around. It'd be a little weird if someone caught me and asked which classroom I'm from. Most people don't play hooky to go to another school on the other side of the street. I've already skipped 2 classes in a row, and by the time I get back, it'll be recess. Considering that, I prefer to skip the rest of the day and go home. I'd prefer, yep. When everyone's settled into their classrooms, I try to slip away, wondering what the stealthiest exit out of the building is. In my school, I would usually use the nurse's office window, but I'm not so sure that will work here since there's nowhere to go from the backyard. Still without a plan, I see one of the teachers heading in my direction, forcing me to turn back and look for another way out of the school. Ew. When I think I'm safe, I see another teacher going up the stairs not too far away from me. Is it that hard for these teachers to be on time for their classes or what? This would all be totally normal if it wasn't for the fact that I immediately find myself surrounded by yet another patrolling teacher approaching me. This feels less and less like a school and more like Area 51. Without anywhere to hide, I stick close to the wall behind me until I suddenly feel a doorknob hitting against my kidney from behind me. I see this as an opportunity and I peek inside the small window attached to the door, praying that it'll be empty. But that's not the case. Inside, I find a normal classroom filled with students taking notes, but there is an empty desk in the last row. They're listening to the lesson of a teacher so old that I can't believe he's not retired. He seems to have a rheumatism, I don't know, and he keeps coughing while he writes on the chalkboard. There's no escaping now. I can't even think of a good excuse in case I'm found by the troll, especially because of the incessant coughing of that teacher inside of this classroom. And that's precisely what inspires me with an idea. It's so absurd that it might work, and under the huge pressure that's going on me right now, I decide to put it into practice. I gently turn the doorknob, slowly opening the door as not to make any noise, opening up a small gap just big enough for me to get through. Everything happens in a second. I get inside at the same time that the teacher coughs, and with one finger I manage to close the door, leaving it behind as I roll on the floor towards the last row of desks. I part the chair from the desk in a single agile motion, then hoist myself atop the chair like a snake slithering up a tree. I take my seat, hanging my head low in an attempt to hide from the teacher and students in front of me, and I ensure in a quick glance the door is closed just as I expect to not raise any suspicion. Nice. Plan successful. My hands shake with excitement, unable to believe that I successfully pulled off such a feat. I'm better than Dan Lupin or Batman or Waldo combined together. I'm a real god right now. My plan was perfect, no mistakes in anything, in its plan, actual execution, or even the I'm sitting on my high horse when I look to my left and realize the one single mistake that I've made. The girl sitting next to me. So... surprise? I'm amazed. I'm incredibly amazed by how expressive some people can be without even speaking verbally. Why are you here?! She doesn't even open her mouth. No sound is heard, but I can tell what she's saying as if she's shouting it directly out of her mouth. Explain yourself or die! Seriously, I'm freaking out. This must be the closest thing to telepathy in the whole world. I don't even mind the purple hue my arm is taking from her strong grip. I raise my index finger, asking loose for a second. I lower my hand down to my pants and take out my notebook, opening it to a blank page, and I begin writing. I thought I was boring and predictable. I can't believe you came here to do this just because of that comment I made at the mall. Luce uses her own pen and writes on the page, although I do notice that at the end of her sentence, she adds a small smiley face, except it's frowning instead of smiling. So just a frowning face. Not really, but since I'm here, I can take this opportunity to tell you something. Tell me something? What? Can't you wait a bit for that, though? Once again, she adds a smiley to the end of her sentence, this time with a face with a question mark over its head. More detailed than your average emoticon, really. I know everyone writes like this on their cell phones, but it's the first time I've seen someone do it on paper. Do you always add smileys to everything? What do you have against smileys, huh? I can't help but giggle when I see her start to draw something after her last sentence, but she crosses it out before giving me the notebook back, and says with regret and shame, "Nothing, they're cute. Don't be shy. I accepted that you're insane a long time ago." At the end of my sentence, I tried to add my own smiley, a face covering its mouth as if it's laughing at something. It's a pity that my artistic abilities haven't improved since kindergarten. It's hard to believe that my smiley has a shape in the first place. Luce ends up covering her mouth with one hand and holding her stomach with the other, trying to hide her usual cackle so that nobody will catch us. What is this disaster? Now I understand why you chose to write instead of draw. As always, she accompanies her sentence with a drawing, this time with the silhouette of someone laughing on the floor. It's not true. I can do better than that. I was just in a hurry. OTL? What? OTL? Yeah. OTL, you know, an emote of a depressed guy sitting on all fours. The O is his head, the T is in his arms, and the L is his legs. Oh, I see it now. Oh, okay. You're supposed to be the smiley expert. Well, Well, excuse me, I don't know why, but I figured it was the acronym of something important. Something that defines us. Forget it. In any case, let's get something straight. Drawing is too much for you. You know that drawing is greater than writing. I raise my chin as if to ask, what's wrong with you? Then Luce then amends her previous sentence, albeit in her own special way. Drawing is way greater than writing. I'm finished, I think, as we start fighting over the notebook's monopoly. From then on, we start a mute war between us where we fill several pages with drawings. Locutions of insults and critiques of all different kinds. The acidic content of this building doesn't rest our enthusiasm, and our familiarity breeds our contempt to the point that we enjoy our competition to see who has more imagination in talking shit about the other. I'm barely coming out of this exchange unscathed, since the quality of my drawings is just laughably awful. So much so that Luce can hardly contain her laughter. It's one of those times where the less you want to laugh, the harder it is not to. During one of these fits, the teacher suddenly goes silent and immediately gazes in our direction. We hold our breath with faces that anyone would declare guilty from seeing them. Then the teacher clears his throat and continues from where he left off, letting us breathe in peace once again. But you almost did! I'm sure the entire classroom has already realized that you're here. What are they gonna think? Tell them that I'm the ghost of Christmas past, but I'm running a bit late. Why do you even care what they think? No, the only thing late here is your brain to everything. I'd like to see how you'd react in a reverse situation. We're going to graduate soon anyways. Why do you seriously care at this point, lady? Luce takes some time to think after reading my last sentence, this time replying without any smiley at the end. I'm always pretty worried about what others think about me, right? You must think I'm obsessed. Luce's face seems to relax, but her lips tense, cloaking a mood one could only describe as downcast. It makes me stop and question my reply, since it seems inappropriate to continue joking and playing the games. And playing games? The games! Games! I decide give her a clear... What? I decide give her... What? This... What? I decide to give her a clear and elaborate response. Who doesn't? If someone denies it, they're lying. You once told me that what others think is important because society is the reflection that lets us see our true selves. I agree with that, but it doesn't change the fact that sometimes we can be more careless when we know that we can't hurt anyone else, don't you think? A brief smile crosses her face while she's reading. She takes her time writing an answer, probably pretending not to leave out any important details. Oh, my dog's coming over here. Hi, Clover!
Hi! Hi! You want up? Oh, you do want up. You want up on my lap? You want to sit on my lap? You want to sit on... Oh, you want to leave? What do you want? What do you want? You're so happy.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Clover. You want up? You want up? Come on. Come here. Up. You want to say hi to... You want to say hi to YouTube? No?
Okay, you want to leave? Okay. Give me a minute. I have like a whole box of gel pens and I stepped on that. Well, at least the corner. If I stepped on the actual thing, I'd break all the pens and then I'd be crying right now. Ouch. Now she wants back in my room, apparently. Too bad. A brief smile crosses her face while she's reading. She takes her time writing an answer, probably pretending not to leave out any important details. It's just that I've always clung to the excuse of having to fulfill everyone else's expectations because that way I can forget about what I actually want. My fondness for drawing isn't so much love for art, but a way to make my dreams take shape. It's for the millions of ideas and dreams that cross my mind, believing that somehow I can eventually live out all of them. Now, while everyone else is deciding on and forming their personas, I'm afraid of embarking on that journey. I'm scared of discovering that I can never become the person I dream of being. Especially because who I've dreamt of becoming is an incomplete idea. An assignment that has yet to be fulfilled, and ideas, like drawings, are always perfect in our minds, but they turn out differently on paper. Luz looks away while I read her note. I have to tap on her on her shoulder to give her back the notebook with my reply. I think you should keep doing what you believe in without questioning your future, Luz. Because I doubt you can smile in your dreams as happily as you have while you were drawing. She blushes. She tries to write down her reply as quickly as possible. I can see the words. It wasn't because on the paper, but she regrets it and crosses it. The bell rings and the students around us start organizing their books while the teacher raises his voice to give us his final instructions before leaving. And the time it takes me to turn around to look in the bell's direction and then return to my original position, Luz stands up and pulls on my shirt, dragging me out of the classroom and into the hallway. Luz then drags me to an even farther hallway, and once there she puts her hands on her waist and looks at me. Well? Well, what? You almost suffocated me. Why did you come here? You told me that you have something to tell me. Well... I scratched my cheek, trying to look surprised and also trying to buy some time. Nothing. It's just that I finished another chapter of my story, but I left it in my bag, so I'll have to give it to you at the library. Did you really come here for that? No, but since I was close by, well, sneaking into your classroom was just something that happened. Luz shakes her head, resigning herself to my explanation, despite being quite unconvinced by it. It's not the first time you've done something like this, anyways. Oh. Do you ever... Have you ever, talked and then your jaw went, your top tooth went down on your bottom tooth weirdly and it felt weird for a second? Ow. I closed my mouth wrong, apparently. I expect anything and everything now. Well, with that being said, it's best if I leave before the bell rings again. I have to take this opportunity and hope that I can sneak out this time. Wait a sec. I've already turned around when Luz stops me. She looks nervous and speaks like she's embarrassed about something. I'm not going to the library this afternoon. What do you say we meet after school and you give it to me then? As you wish. I have it in my bag so I can do it then, but... It's better this way. We'll meet up later, okay? Luz sees me off in a hurry, leaving me disconcerted. But still, I choose not to give it too much thought and leave without asking any questions. The entrance of the school is full of students walking around. It's recess, so absolutely no one is standing still. Jumps between the playground and the cafeteria fill the hallways with students and my ears with haphazard noises. I'm a few steps in front of the exit before I hear my name. I can't tell where it came from even when I turn around. It takes me some time, but I finally locate a familiar face among the crowd, gazing towards me and greeting me with a slow but firm nod. I knew it. Hi, Sheer. I didn't expect to find Deniz there, causing me to act awkwardly. Oh, hello, Deniz. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? I'm enrolled here, remember? The odd one out is you for being here right now. I don't think there's a committee meeting yet. It's not like Ziva would let us either. She's carrying all of the burden by herself. Nothing good can come of it. Dennis tries to make a joke about it, but it doesn't really seem to work, and an awkward silence ensues between the both of us. Yeah, you're right. It's a complicated situation. I could tell you about it, but it'd take a while. Everyone is already gossiping about you in my class. Nobody knew who you were or where you came from. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. I'm sorry. Fuck, I forgot the... I know the melody, but it's like I can't verbalize it. Wait. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Pretty sure Luce is being massacred with questions. I hope I said that right. About me? Wait, how do I know? Because my seat is 2 spots in front of Luce's, near one of the walls. Everyone realized what was going on, but the teacher probably didn't, since he must be senile at his age. Nobody knew when exactly you came in, but little by little rumors started spreading around, and eventually the entire classroom was whispering about it. Luckily, nobody reported you. You would have noticed it yourself if you hadn't been so busy having fun with Luce. Dennis speaks calmly and with a broad smile, making it exceedingly difficult to discern what the real meaning behind his words is. I simply nod, answering him with short, meaningless monosyllables, unable to think of any better way to his reaction. To react to the situation. God damn it, I'm so... I smell noodles. Someone making macaroni? I think someone's making macaroni in my house. Macaroni and cheese. Or frozen food. It's either one or the other. I'm happy for you. I know that you're in a hurry, so you don't have to explain it. But as I'm sure you understand, I was pretty damn surprised when you suddenly appeared in my classroom out of nowhere. We're friends, aren't we? It's normal to be interested. Yeah, sure. We are. I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm afraid that it isn't what you think. If you say so. In any case, try to be more careful next time. And I don't only mean about yourself. I tilt my head and raise my eyebrows, unsure of what exactly he means. I'm talking about Claire. A flashback of what had happened with Claire and I this morning crosses my mind at the same time that Dennis mentions her. It takes me back. Anyways, I'll stop bothering you now. See you around. Dennis bids me farewell by taking his hand out of his pocket and lazily waving at me, then walks away while yawning. It takes me a while to react, and eventually I sigh and begin the journey back to my own school. The trip feels like it takes an eternity, and I consider going straight home instead, using the intense pain I feel in my right leg at this moment as an excuse. But as I get closer to the school's vicinity, I find Austin, so I try to forget all about all of my problems and greet him as if nothing has happened. I think that it might go away if I ignore it, although that's never worked for anyone before. Yeah, just ignore your pain, that's fine, you know. It'll eventually go away. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of 1000 Lies. If you guys enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!